Morning world, it's 10 to 9 in the morning on the 17th of May 2013. The moon is in Leo, squaring Mars as I speak and spending the rest of the day squaring the sun. So today's going to have an element of stubbornness and immovability about it, but also perseverance and determination. Fine. Mercury and Mars today are the two planets each side of the sun, suggesting that today is not going to be a day of subtle, gentle, delicate words. It's much more likely to be quite forceful and dynamic, with Mercury and Mars each side of the sun. And someone asked me yesterday to do a video on sun signs. I'm open to doing videos on any subject you like, as long as it's intelligent and it's astrologically based or similarly related. So how can I do a horoscope on sun? How can I do a video on sun signs? Everyone knows that sun sign astrology is basically gibberish because it just deals with the effects of the transits in the sky on one particular point in the horoscope. Okay, so it's the sun. But what if, for example, you're a sun sign Libra, but everything else in your chart is in Virgo or Scorpio? So, and then someone said to me, well, jazz sun signs up, make them interesting. And I thought, well, how can you do that? But I thought, what I did think of is, how did this notion of sun sign astrology come about as we understand it today? Here's the potted history. It wasn't until the fortune tellers of very mid-period Rome, around about 10 to 20 to 30 years BC, that the ascendant started, and thus astrologers started appearing on the street saying, cross my palm with silver and I'll tell you your fortune. This is the start of horary astrology. And since that time, there's always been an element of fortune telling about astrology. And yeah, that's been evident throughout astrology right the way through to the early 1900s. And what happened is that in the early 1930s, maybe the mid 1930s, a British national newspaper, the Daily Express, ran a spoof, semi-humorous article concerning the horoscope of the new princess, Princess Margaret, the now deceased sister of our current Queen of England. And the response to this from the Daily Express's readers in the 1930s was so strong that as a result, as an experiment, they commissioned the world's first paid newspaper sun sign column. And the rest is history. It took off. And by the end of the 1950s, mid-1960s, every tabloid newspaper almost everywhere in the world, possibly bar Utah, has sun sign astrology columns in their daily newspapers. Unfortunately, of course, this is when it started getting tacky, because as soon as it became populist, the money men started coming in. And of course, by the time you're into your early 1980s, and then the 1990s, and then the 2000s, you've got your celebrity astrologers, and most of them, with one or two very notable singular exceptions, Jonathan, most of them can't do their own stuff. I know, because I've written for most of them on and off. And most of them aren't worth the paper they're written on. These days, if you're going to get your sun sign, you're also going to get your lucky lottery numbers, your lucky crystal, and etc., etc., etc. It's tosh. Nevertheless, it is a basic introduction to the idea that perhaps astrology has a degree of validity. I'm amazed, I suppose it's inevitable, but I'm amazed that I still, 35 years on now nearly, I still get the occasional troll or idiot coming up to me and going, you don't believe in that old rubbish, do you? And all I can do is just smile. Part of me wants to just give them a slap, but you know, you obviously can't do that. You can think about it. Sun sign astrology is essentially just a basic introduction to modernistic astrology at a more contemporary and much deeper level, whether it be psychological, astrocartography, relationship, or children. Doesn't matter. So yeah, don't dismiss the sun sign columns, but really, I wouldn't pay too much credence to them. Far better Far better to go and see your own personal astrologer and get your own individual chart done. All right, take care. See you later. Bye.